welcome back to Let's Talk Shop. You're listening to Season 5, Episode 4. And today I am joined by Julie Driscoll, who is the Retail and Fashion Managing Director at Hyve Group, and Karin Hausmann, who's the Digital Marketing Director at Hyve. And we are talking about Spring and Autumn Fair online marketplace, which will be launching on the 4th of May. This is really exciting because it means that Spring and Autumn Fair will now be an omnichannel, supported by both online ordering and the physical events that they run every September and February. In today's episode, Karin and Julie shares all about what the online marketplace will look like, or what it will be, what it can do, and how you can get involved. And it's going to continue to grow and be developed. So I'm very excited to see how this can offer a additional kind of extension of a trade show and live event. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please share where you are listening. You can tag me. I'm small_business_collaborative over on Instagram. And of course, it's always great when you can take a moment to rate and review the podcast over on Apple Podcast, as it really helps the podcast grow. But without further ado, here's my conversation with Julie and Karin from Spring and Autumn Fair. Hello, Karin and Julie. Thank you so much for joining me on Let's Talk Shop today.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so happy to have you both. I thought we'd start off with Julie. If you could introduce yourself and what you do for Spring and Autumn Fair.
Wonderful. So I'm Julie Driscoll. I'm the Managing Director for Spring and Autumn Fair. I also look after the retail and fashion shows at Hyve Group PLC, which are Glee, also homed at the NEC in Birmingham, Moda, Pure Origin, and Scoop. So we've got a wide stable of events within the retail and fashion space. And I've been very much looking forward to talking to you today around omnichannel plans for the year ahead. So we are very excited to be developing our products over the year ahead, and we'll introduce my colleague Karin Hausmann, who's helping us achieve our key priorities. Over to you, Karin.
Thank you, Julie. Hi, Therese. My name is Karin Hausmann. I'm the Digital Marketing Director at Hyve, who is the organizer of Spring and Autumn Fair. I've been with the company for about 7 years now in different senior marketing roles, and my big passion is to reach and engage our audiences online. So I'm super happy to be launching our new exciting Spring and Autumn Fair online marketplace and supporting Julie in reaching our digital and omnichannel goals at Hyve.
It's so exciting. This is completely new. I don't know. I suppose that this has gone quicker than maybe you had planned because of the pandemic, but tell us more about what you're launching. What is the plan for the marketplace? And
obviously, with any business that we run, we're always researching with our communities and our customer bases. What is it that you want? What's your unmet need? What is it that's keeping you awake at night? What's a problem that we can help you solve? So we've been speaking to hundreds of retailers and exhibitors over the last year, and using the time during lockdown to really ensure we're moving forwards with rapid product development that's aligned to our customer goals. And what they said they wanted is they wanted a choice. They wanted to be able to buy on site at our events, Spring and Autumn Fair in this instance, but they also wanted a complementary platform to be able to buy in between our events online. And this might be to find new suppliers that have niche or very on-trend products, or to reorder from their existing suppliers. We're also launching a curated meetings product, which will be coming online later in the year. But I'll let Karin perhaps talk a little bit more about how we're going to execute the online marketplace. So over to you, Karin.
Thanks, Julie. As Julie just said, it was really important for us to, or it always has been, to build products based on customer need. So after doing a bit of soul searching and market research this year and last year, we've found a great partner that can help us to go online and launch an omnichannel or online marketplace, which we'll be launching on the 4th of May. So it's a complementary product to our live events and a 365 online trading platform, which is where buyer can source products and shop online all year round. And brands, on the other hand, can showcase their products and trade also in between shows and 365. So we're launching the 4th of May.
What can brands do already now, or maybe even shops that are listening? Can they get involved now, or is it going to happen from May? What is the plan?
Sure. So we've launched on the 13th of April, which was last week, to brands and buyers where they can already sign up to participate and be online for the launch on 4th of May. And how it will work: as a brand, you just apply, you let us know you want to take part. We are very much focusing in the first few months on the gift and well-being and beauty sectors, but already have plans in place to then really go wide and include all of our sectors. If you are a buyer, you can also sign up to tell us you're interested. But we have a quite well thought through vetting process in place, because for us it's all about quality of buyers, because brands told us they want to access serious vetted buyers. So it's really about not just opening the gate and letting people to join, but only letting really good quality buyers to be on the marketplace.
And in terms of the buyers that can register, because other platforms out there, they're very much geared to single store or smaller retailers. What is your plan? Because obviously Spring and Autumn Fair also gets a huge amount of international visitors and big buyers, as in the national chains and distributors from all over the world. Will the platform be open to them as well?
The platform is open to any buyer, and where we will vet them. So they need to have a website, they need to have a credible track record. So there are a number of ways that we are working to vet the retailers and the people that want to buy from suppliers. We clearly will welcome anyone. If John Lewis wants to register and buy on the platform, absolutely fine. But the power is in the hands of the supplier. The supplier does not have to sell to anyone. They can vet the retailers themselves. So a retailer can send a request to a supplier. We would like to inquire about the price for 30,000 products, etc., or 3 products, whatever it is. And then the supplier has the power within their hands of whether they accept that retailer based on the retailer's profile or not. As you know, Therese, what is so powerful in retail is that a product, a brand, doesn't want to have 50 retailers selling their product in Bath and only 1 in Winchester. So the supplier needs to really ensure that the retailers they work with are aligned to their DNA. So you will know lots and lots of small businesses who are passionate about the provenance of where their products come from, right? They're sustainable, or often they're organic, or they really have an invested interest in the design of the product, and perhaps they're the designer of the product themselves. When you are a small business like that, you want to sell to retailers that are like-minded. So we're offering that platform where people can find the retailers that are right for them. And often maybe they will have met the retailers on site at Spring and Autumn Fair, and then they're following up via the online marketplace. So I think that the great news is that it's going to be a rich, diverse section of retailers, and suppliers can choose to work with the size of retailer that's right for them.
I think it's going to be really exciting because it's a little bit like an extension of what already exists, because you will
absolutely
have so much knowledge of the industry because you've been doing it for so many years. And you're actually coming from the industry, which is quite different from like some of the other platforms, which might have more of like a tech startup behind them.
Pure play online. That's right. So there are pure play online sites that have risen up. Of course there are. Where we have an advantage is that we are going to be the first home and gift trade show within the UK that offers an online trading platform. So it's an alternative platform, an additional platform, a complementary platform to our shows, but we're the first. And why are we the first? Well, we've got 70 years of knowing our retail community. We really understand the retailers, we really understand the suppliers. We're brilliant at editing, we're brilliant at product curation, and we are excellent at understanding the very on-trend products that British retailers particularly, but also internationally, but particularly in the first wave, it's going to be really putting the right product in front of our brilliant British retailers that is going to be selling through right now. So we're very excited to be doing that. We have the heritage, which means we can be people's trusted partner. So they trust us as suppliers or retailers to come to our shows because they've been buying brilliant product that sells through for years and years through our wonderful shows. And now they can trust us as being their partner online.
And Therese, we've done a lot of work, of course, ahead of the launch to identify what is our unique selling point, right? So because we are aware where there are other players on the market and they've been launching before, but we are really confident that with our heritage, our understanding of curation and products and knowing the market and customers and brands and buyers, plus on top, we have an established online presence. We're already getting hundreds of thousands of visitors every month to our website. And we now can direct this audience to our online platform from springandautumnfair.com. So we are really confident that we can offer something that others can't. And we will be focusing on all of our messaging and communications on what brands and buyers can get from the online marketplace.
And will they kind of work seamlessly? So if you go to the Spring and Autumn Fair website, it's part of the exhibitors directory, if you will, which I know a lot of buyers use to find new brands. Perhaps if they're not going to the shows like the last year or so because of the pandemic, they already use the directory of who is exhibiting at the show to find retailers. How will that work together? Will they be able to go into the directory, see who's exhibiting? I guess the next show is Autumn Fair, and see, oh yes, that supplier is on the marketplace too, I can go and buy it from them. Or how will that work?
Yes, so for the launch or from the 4th of May, or any brand that's participating in the marketplace and also exhibiting will have a direct link from the exhibitor zone to the profile on the platform, which will be live from the 4th of May. But we are working already on kind of what's our next step. Because ideally, we at some point would want to offer a one-stop shop where everything sits on one site, right? So I think for launch, it's focused on going live, directing people to the online marketplace, connecting it to the exhibitor zone, but already getting then feedback from brands and buyers of how we can make this all a smoother process. One reason we've chosen the partner we have chosen, Events United, is that they were very willing to work with us to evolve the platform based on customer feedback. So what's really important for us is to launch the product and then hear from brands and buyers of what would they need, how we can make it easier for them and smoother and simpler to trade online 365. So we're very looking forward to kind of starting and then going on a journey with brands and buyers and working on improving the platform with them.
It's going to be so exciting to hear what they think about the platform when it launches properly, won't it? So now you already I'm guessing when you launch on the 4th of May, you will already have a few brands signed up. Are those all brands that already exhibit at the show? And later on, will you also accept brands that don't exhibit at the show onto the platform?
Phase one is definitely people that are our exhibitors. So we are focusing on our loyal customers first, and we'll be building the product with our community. So right now, Therese, we can't answer that question because we're going to be building it and asking our retail and exhibitors and our suppliers, what would they like? So that's very much something we're going to work in partnership with our community and build it from there. So let's find out together.
And I guess that's how you guys have always worked, because one thing that I think Spring and Autumn Fair does a lot is, and I know you did this a lot of over lockdown from speaking to Jessica on the podcast before, you actually spoke to a lot of retailers, a lot of shop owners, a lot of brands that exhibit at the show, and you get, their feeling about whether they wanted a trade show, did they want a live event, what did they want? So I'm guessing that's what you're putting into this new development as well.
They want both. So Equivocally, our suppliers and our retailers want live events. We're recording this podcast the day after retail stores were reopening.
Yes.
And one only needs to look at one's town centre or local stores to see that pent-up demand. People cannot wait to get out to visit their local retailers. And trade shows are a department store for the trade. It's no different. We know that there's pent-up demand, that we know that people want to look, touch and feel the products. They really do. What we're doing is offering a complementary platform for them to trade. It's a little bit like your stand at Spring or Autumn Fair, which are the market-leading events within the UK. It's your Regent Street flagship store. So twice a year, you're going to have your Regent Street flagship store. And the Spring and Autumn Fair online marketplace will be something that will complement those flagship stores throughout the year. So that's how we're thinking of it. What's going on in retail, we can mirror that within the B2B trade environment. And we're very excited about it. And it's something that we know our retailers and our suppliers are also very excited about.
Absolutely. And I mean, I suppose in a way it's what's been happening in retail for a long time. They have all had to do it, but actually the trade events hasn't done it yet. So this is quite interesting because they've all had to, especially over the last year, whether they were before or not, most of them, or a lot of them at least, have had to become online stores as well as brick and mortar stores. So I guess this was looking back, now we know it's happening. It's quite a natural extension.
It is. It's a brand extension and it's a natural extension. I watched a lady on Channel 4 News last night that talked about how she'd done well during lockdown through her new website that she launched during lockdown. However, she anticipates that the majority of her sales will bounce back to being through the retail store. And she said nothing will ever replace her retail store because of the deep bonds that she has with her customer base. Also, actually having a physical store magnifies the sales that she can do online. So we all know about e-commerce and how it works, and that many brands, if they have a physical store, it really can help accelerate both their in-store trade and their online trade. And so that's what Karin's been working brilliantly well with her team at Hyve to create, is that very complementary omnichannel offering.
And how will the platform work? So say a supplier or brand is approved. What happens after that? Like, how is they upload all their products? How does all that sort of thing work? How can they?
Another USP of the platform we are working with is they are offering a really good customer support. So once the brand is confirmed and signed their contract, then we're going to pass them over and they'll be guided through the entire onboarding. So our onboarding call, again, shown how the platform will work, and really helped of getting images up and getting everything set up. So we wanted to really make it very easy for brands to get up and running on the platform.
Therese, what's also fantastic, may I add, is that the service is offered in a number of languages. Ooh. So any of our the onboarding service, we have customer representatives who have language skills. So for many of our international exhibitors, it's going to be a really comfortable process and a really great experience. And I know Karin and the team, that's something that we're very passionate about, is that the user experience and user journey is going to be a very positive one.
That will be so helpful for everyone. And I guess that's also a really good way to ensure that you get the same sort of mix that you get at a physical event by having that sort of thing and having thought about that sort of thing for an online all the time event. So buyers will be able to register and they will be vetted to make sure that they have a shop and they're actually a serious buyer. Then they can go on the platform, they can order straight on the platform, and that goes through to the brand to be approved. Is that how it's going to work? Or
yes, exactly. So the brands have full power of who they sell to. They can set their different payment terms for each of the buyers that want to buy from them, and can accept also decline selling to buyers. So it's really all in their hands. To sign up, we're already live on springfair.com, autumnfair.com, where you can find the link to the platform and already go there and register as a brand or as a buyer.
And when I suppose different size buyer might use the platform differently now. This will be interesting to see, actually. We don't know that, because I could imagine, a bigger buyer registering to see what is out there, whereas a small buyer might register to buy. So it'll be very interesting to see how will buyers be able to communicate through the platforms with the seller or vice versa.
So they can either chat with them directly on the chat or email, or also have arranged video calls with brands and buyers. It's really a great tool also to get in touch and ask questions before a sale is completed. Another reason we've chosen the platform, because we know at the beginning, especially, people will have questions on products and price and order volume. So we offer the solution to contact each other and talk and discuss before the sale is completed.
What do you think will be key to be successful on a platform like this? What do you think that a brand needs?
I think as a brand, similar to if you go on site to a trade show, you have to prepare, you have to make sure all your products are up there, but really show your best side. So we really want to support the brand to showcase their ranges, because only then can buyers find products. So I think number one really is to get your products on the platform. Then also you can use the inbuilt email system to communicate to the market and to your audiences and really promote and push. Because as we know from any store, any shop, also for consumers, it's all about how you promote yourself and showcase your ranges. And I think one big benefit of doing it online all year is you can really launch products all year round, not just in Feb and September, but also in summer or whenever you have something new, and then tell your audience about it when it happens, to really be much more interactive and can react much quicker for any launches, and then tell all your buyers about it.
The vision is definitely that for a number of our suppliers, they won't need their own websites. So for many of your listeners to this podcast, they may not want to invest in a e-commerce, particularly B2B e-commerce website. So they can use our platforms as their trade website. And then maybe they want to focus on other things with their website, because it is a big job to get that organic search, to get that traffic, to really ensure you're getting the right unique users each and every month. So by partaking in the Spring and Autumn Fair online marketplace, you're joining already a huge raft and a huge range of beautifully curated product, which means you're much more likely to be found when retailers are searching. And Karin and her team have spent a long time focusing on the key search terms, the taxonomy. So we've really looked at how retailers are searching, whether it be for funky gifts or organic or sustainable. What is it? What's the language that they're using? And as Spring and Autumn online marketplace will be able, the search will be very intuitive. Karin, I don't know if you want to mention any more about that.
We're starting off with a basic search, and then we're evolving and building it based on the customer feedback. So what do buyers want to search for? What do brands want us to use? So it's all kind of a journey to work with our market to develop the search functionality as we go along.
And will that be supported by some sort of marketing campaign for your end? Because one of the things that is so amazing with a live physical event is obviously, someone might walk down a hall in the contemporary gift, for example, and they will see candles, and then they will see beauty products, and then they will see gifting products, and they will see all these different categories within the contemporary home and gift brand. But when you go to a website, you might not be that surprised. I mean, in contemporary gift you can find pet products, and you might be a gift shop. You never thought of stocking pet products, but actually when you walk down the halls of spring or autumn fair, you're thinking, oh, that looks nice. I could put that with that. That could really work. I get a lot of customers with their dogs in the store. Maybe I should have a pet range, and they might actually find ideas that way. So how do you think that will be replicated in like an online form?
So one of the things that we're doing differently this year as a result of the research that we've done recently to raise with lots and lots of suppliers and retailers is everything we do in our marketing is product focused and very often related to trends. So if we know that a big trend is rattan, so that's been a big thing that's coming through, all of the beautiful rattan chairs in indoor chairs or lampshades, etc. We're going to bring a curated mix of what's both at the show but also in the marketplace and alert our retail community to that. So we are going to be identifying top trends, top picks, products of the day, etc. And that will all come through as we move forwards and build the marketplace. Over to you, Karin.
And just to add, and I think how we also want people to use the marketplace is really to identify and also meet the supplier on site. So if you look for candles online, you find 15 candles, and then you can book in meetings to on site to meet the brand there and identify their entire range. So it can really work both ways, right? And you can use the platform to find buyers or brands you wouldn't have just by going to spring and autumn fair. So I think it would really work both ways. It's very complementary for the live event.
And so obviously you already do newsletters and you have your social media channels and all that. Will you be promoting brands that are selling on the marketplace platform on those things to kind of launch it, and that way people might get surprised and think of new categories?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and obviously social media, we have a very large social media following. Is it 25,000 on Instagram, Karin? Something like that. So we've got a large social media following, and we'll be using all of our channels to help drive retailers and the range, alert them to the breadth of range that we have on our e-commerce platform.
And I guess your mailing list is very large.
It's pretty impressive.
I think we're going to use, as with anything we promote, we got a strong online traffic to our websites, a big database, a big social following. So one of the powers of the marketplace is that we already have the audience, a captive audience for, 70 years, but not in a database, but really for a really long time, and can now use this to help brands and buyers to connect, sell and trade on site, but are now also online on the marketplace.
Another thing I think that you guys know, as you touched on, Julie, is that you obviously have a lot of experience and see what the trends are. You can probably see what kind of terms people are already searching for when they're searching for suppliers on the directory, and for speaking to brands or buyers that visit the shows, you would know what they kind of want. So what do you see is coming up? What do you think is going to be some of those key things that people are going to be looking for, I guess, summer and autumn now?
So definitely sustainable. That's coming through very loud and clear, that people want products that have an ethical footprint or a sustainable supply chain. So if anyone has a story to tell around that, I would definitely advise, if you're a supplier or a brand, that you bring that to the fore. Or indeed, if you're doing anything in terms of corporate social responsibility, whether that be a charitable endeavor. Many retailers did brilliant things during lockdown, as did suppliers. So those are all stories that actually retailers can then use to sell products through to consumers. And there is a very large social conscience growing, not just in the millennials, but through all age groups now. So the sustainable product ranges are going to be key. The other thing is designed in Britain. A lot of people are interested now because of Brexit in really exploring products that are designed in Britain or even manufactured in Britain. So that's something, a trail that we're going to be looking at and sourcing. And always really important is a unique product. So if brands and suppliers can say, we are the only people within the UK that supply this range, we're going to be magnifying those things very much, both at the events and online within the Spring and Autumn Fair online marketplace. Those are all key things. And obviously then the key colours that are coming through and the key trends. But those are things that we hear repeated again and again and again.
It's so interesting to see. I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like some of these things that you said is kind of trending or something people are looking for has been really amplified, I feel, throughout the last year with the pandemic, both on ethical and sustainable, and then with Brexit also made in the UK, sold from the UK, designed here, that sort of thing. So it's really interesting. It's going to be interesting. I hope it stays though.
Well, look, I think post Brexit it gives people the opportunity to reevaluate their supply chains, and there are many different options now, and more countries are magnifying their manufacturing capabilities. So it is a very interesting time. Over to you, Karin.
I think last year was really in many ways the kind of reassessing of life in general, right? So where do you buy from? What do you buy? When do you buy it? So everything we see now across retail or any other sector is really a result of a really, a major event last year. So I think it's just important for any company to keep on top of everything that's going on and develop their product based on changing customer need, right? So if you're a brand or if you're a buyer or if you're a trade show organizer, you really have to make sure you build the product of what's going on in the world.
I completely agree. Talking a little bit about Autumn Fair, since that's the next show coming up, it feels crazy to start thinking about autumn and Christmas and stuff, but that's retail, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit different. I mean, first of all, it will be the first trade show for quite some time. I know you guys have still been running trade shows in other countries and stuff, but it will be the first UK one that you're doing. What security things are you going to have to put in? How does people feel about it?
So really brilliant question. We have a safe and secure standard that a number of people within the business, Karin being one of them, myself being another, have developed to ensure all of our customers are safe and secure on site. Clearly, the government has said brilliantly that live events are able to happen. And what the government is currently doing, and we're involved in this actually, they are running an events research program. And they are running that throughout May with small events that are happening. And what they're going to do then is come back to the industry with, these are all the guidelines we believe will need to be put in place on site for large scale events. So they're going to be monitoring the FA Cup final and things like that. So all of these things are happening over the next 6 to 8 weeks. So by the time Autumn Fair comes around, I think we're all going to be pretty well versed in exactly what we need to do. We have safe and secure guidelines on our website right now, which any retailer or supplier can look at. So that's springfair.com or autumnfair.com, or please feel free to drop me a line or Karin a line at any time to find out more. But we're very excited and confident about running safe and secure live events in the UK in 2021.
I'm very excited to go to live events, to be honest. I'm sure you guys are too. It's I mean, we're recording this, it's Tuesday today and shops opened yesterday, as we said, and I was out yesterday morning when they opened at 9:30.
Wonderful.
It was just so nice to be out, and I think there was a real mix of feelings from the retailers. They seemed to be nervous and a little bit worried and also excited. But I hope that if things keep going the way they're gone so far with the vaccinations and stuff.
Yes.
Confidence by the time we get to September will be much higher, I hope.
It absolutely will be, Therese. The most successful vaccination program in history by the NHS. How fantastic is that? Week on week, the confidence is growing. We're going to bounce back better with our product from Spring and Autumn Fair, and I'm utterly certain that UK retail will bounce back better as well.
Do you think it's challenged the shows before the pandemic? Footfall was getting challenging. Not challenging, still a huge amount of visitors, but it wasn't as much buying happening at the shows as before. People were spending very freely, and over the years they've spent slightly less freely. Not that they don't come, but it's more thought through. But I feel that people have missed online, like physical events, so much. So do you think this is going to kind of mean that you get more people than you've had to Autumn Fair in years?
Karin will back me up on this. The retailers, the visitors that we've had to our international shows that have run in Russia, in China, and in Turkey, the density of the visitors, which means the number of visitors per exhibitor, has been higher than pre-pandemic levels. So that is a really great early indicator of what we hope to see at Autumn Fair. None of us have got a magic wand. We're cautiously optimistic, but we encourage retailers to come and discover those new product ranges at Autumn Fair, which is the 5th to the 8th of September 2021 at the NEC in Birmingham. And visitors can register their interest, and exhibitors can apply to be part of the show right now on the Autumn Fair website, or they can apply right now to be part of the Spring and Autumn Fair online marketplace. So we are really, really excited to hear from our customers, whatever they're interested in right now.
Just think about yesterday, the first day opening of shops, you wouldn't have this many people on a Monday out shopping and eating and drinking. So we're kind of Autumn Fair will be the first live event, but of course everything in a safe and secure way.
Yeah. I hope, but I think we need it in the industry. It's really taught us, I think, from a lot of people that I've talked to, and I'd be interested to see if you heard the same. People really miss trade shows, and they might actually value them more after this.
You're right. You are right. So right. It's a refrain that we've heard from so many people, and I can't even tell you the conversations we've had with retailers and with exhibitors, some of whom are so emotionally connected to our shows and miss their customers. So for many, it's the only place they see their retailers each year is on site at the shows, and then a lot of their retailers, they're their friends. It's their network, it's their community. So it's been quite an emotional experience for many, both the exhibitors, the suppliers, and the retailers. And for many businesses, our shows are probably accountable for 80 to 90% of their turnover each year. So when you think of that, yes, people have pivoted, they've been able to drive business online, but nowhere near the amount of business that they would have ordinarily done. And I think it's that natural reticence that retailers don't want to buy hundreds of thousands of pounds. They don't want to spend that with a supplier they've never met before, where they can't touch the sample, where they can't feel the quality. So that's why the shows are so important. So we anticipate that really deep buys will be done at the shows, and that our online marketplace will be there as a complement. So we cannot wait to welcome our community back. And we know it's going to be a very emotional reunion in September at the NEC at Autumn Fair.
Yeah. I can't wait either. And I think a lot of the people that are listening to this podcast are smaller brands. So they're the ones that maybe haven't exhibited before, thinking about exhibiting, or maybe exhibited once or twice, but also mainly this kind of smaller stands and stuff. So what do you guys do as a show organizer to help them? What are the options? Because it can feel a little bit intimidating and scary, I think, to call the sales team. Even though that, as people that listen to my episode with Jessica will know, they're very friendly, but it can still be intimidating. So what are there options for smaller businesses to get involved with the show?
So I definitely think they should call one of us, pick up the phone, have a conversation, have a Teams video meeting, whatever it is. Show us your product, share with us the price point, share with us the ambition for your business and the ambition for your brand. And all of our people that work across Spring and Autumn Fair, and indeed across retail and fashion, they are consultants. They're not interested in selling a stand for the sake of it, because if people don't come back year in, year out, then it's just a waste of everyone's time. We want customers to stay with us for years to come. We've got very high retention rates. So we have trusted sales consultants, and we will advise them on whether it's the right time for them to exhibit or not. And I do want people to trust in us. We are a very trusted partner. Our heritage makes us your listeners' trusted partner, whether that be at the shows or whether that be at Spring and Autumn Fair marketplace.
That's brilliant. I think that it is such a useful, everyone that works in the sales team has so much knowledge, and I think there's no obligation to book a stand just because you're calling someone. I think it's really something to remember, that it is a conversation. It's not you signing up and spending money that you don't know if you have or not. It's
no,
just
precisely.
chat.
Yes, it is just an inquiry, and my people are very aware. Often they have run small businesses themselves, or they have family members that are running small businesses. So we are there to drive the success of businesses of all kinds within home and gift and fashion, and we are very excited to hear from everyone. So please do get in contact with us. There's an option for all.
Brilliant. So I guess it will be really exciting about the 4th of May to see the platform launch fully, with what brands are going to be on there and all that sort of thing. I'm very excited to see it. What are you do you feel that, Karin, maybe did I miss anything? Is there anything else you want to share about the platform?
No, just please, join us as a brand or a buyer and help us build a platform that will work for the market. So, it's really the more the merrier, with focus on quality. And we look forward to see many, many brands and buyers joining us for this journey.
Brilliant. Julie, do you have anything to add to that?
I just want to wish everyone, all of your listeners and everyone within the retail community, best wishes and great luck for the reopening of retail. We wish everyone trading success. Can't wait to welcome you all back to Autumn Fair on the 5th of September this year.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave the links to the Spring and Autumn Fair websites and the social media and stuff in the show notes for anyone that wants to go and have a look. Thank you so much, Julie and Karin, for taking the time to come and chat with me and talk about this new exciting venture and extension of Spring and Autumn Fair.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having us, Therese.
Thanks, Therese. You take care.
Thank you, Karin and Julie, for coming on Let's Talk Shop. And thank you to all of you who are listening. As always, if you need help with your wholesale, I work with clients both one-to-one and I offer courses on the very topic of selling to retail. My next course will be my Let's Talk Sales course, which is all about taking a proactive approach to your selling and getting confident selling to retailers. And that is perfect if you keep moving that selling down your to-do list. Over the next few weeks, I will be sharing a lot more information about the course, and it will be starting on the 11th of May. And then I will fit in another group on my Start to Wholesale course in June before we properly goes into summer. And if you want to start to wholesale this year and you're thinking, I need to get ready for this autumn, then that's the perfect course for you, where we will cover everything from getting your products retail ready, pricing and sales material. So both courses are very much geared towards the small business owner who wants to sell to shops and get their brand out there. So go and have a look. Both courses, you can read about them over on my website. And otherwise, I hope that you have a brilliant week. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you tune in next Monday when the podcast will be back with a new episode.